Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Two issues I will analyze in this video. The first one, how these guys lied to us, and the second one is who makes our news, who manufactures our information, who shapes our opinions. So I will use two topics. One, I will use the topic of coronavirus, where a new panel, congressional subcommittee actually, investigated the origin of the pandemic. And they say, well, coronavirus could have originated in a lab in Wuhan. Okay, why do you think that happens? I will talk about that political implication. Remember, if China follows orders is not from Wuhan lab. When China doesn't follow orders, could be from Wuhan, and we're going to hold you accountable for that. That's the first one. Second one, the same panel, the same subcommittee, found that social distancing and masking were not backed with scientific data. And I'm going to talk about this because I will tell you how these guys conducted this drill. Coronavirus, all those mandates, not all, but they were a drill. It was a drill to see how far they can go with these Americans, and not only how far they can push, trembling, sitting, stepping on their freedoms and liberties, which I think are just temporary privileges, because a right or a freedom, you can't just take it like that. But nevertheless, so these are the two issues. As I said, China originated coronavirus. The other one, scientific, with the masks and social distances. That's something that I've been saying since it started, this garbage. And I will tell you stories from the office, and not only from the office, with people, discussions, conversations. The other one is US Congress admits over, please listen to this, $250 billion in COVID-19 aid stolen by fraudsters. So if $250 billion were stolen, out of how much? $800 billion? That was another drill for a swindling operation, a racket. All right, we're going to discuss that one. And now we're going to see who is shaping our opinions. And I'm going to use Mr. Jon Stewart, which I dislike very much, not because of physical appearance or who he is, but he's a weasel. The same as the other guy, Bill Maher. The same group, the same weaselness. They do like this. Oh, the wind blows from the east. I'm going to go that way. The wind blows from the west. I'm going to go that way. Why? They are shifting their opinions, shaping opinions. And they're not themselves. They're the people who write their scripts and so on. The same guys. They do it how it blows the wind. They have an agenda, and the agenda is in the Middle East. That's their agenda. The only agenda. All right? So I'm going to discuss this, how Jon Stewart, all of a sudden, you can say, no, wait a minute. I listened to Jon Stewart repeatedly. And he's like that. The basic thing is what's good for that country, and then everything else to support that country. Now, let's go to the first topic and read this article from, first one, Fox News. Oh my God. I don't care if it's Fox News, Russia Today, or I don't know, China, South China periodical. COVID, and I'm quoting, most likely leaked from Wuhan lab. Social distancing, and I'm quoting, not based on science, select committee finds. Congressional report says Dr. Fauci testified social distancing guidelines sort of just appeared. All right, and here we have a congressional subcommittee concluded in its 2-year investigation on the coronavirus pandemic on Monday, finding that COVID-19 likely originated from a lab in Wuhan, China, and the social distancing, this is what I care more, and masking were not backed with scientific data. Why do I care this more? I tell you. The select subcommittee on coronavirus pandemic released its final 520-page report that stated COVID-19 most likely emerged in the lab. It in support of All right, and scientific, the report, boop, boop, boop. And let's go to the this. They treated us like animals. This is where my rights were infringed, right here. The report also found that social distancing, and I'm quoting, was not based on science. During closed-door testimony, Dr. Fauci testified that the guidance sort of just appeared, end quote, the report states. I want to talk about what should we do with these people. Fauci was the public face, The subcommittee also found, and I'm quoting, no conclusive evidence that wearing masks protected Americans from COVID-19. All right, so let's talk about this garbage first. Now, obviously, it's a political stuff. They will find out that it originated in a wet market, not that kind of wet market, in China or the lab, according to how the Chinese follow orders. If the Chinese follow orders, it's going to be from the wet market, therefore, it's going to be all good. If the Chinese don't, then it's from a lab. Right? That's how the things play. And the second one, it could have originated from that. Let's say lab, We're going to go to funding. Who funded that? All right. Some people say, okay, things like Fauci was or not. That's another thing. That's another story or issue. The issue I want to focus on this video is this guy is based on, I would say, no scientific evidence, conclusive, that masks and social distancing worked. Not based by science. Follow the science. I'm not following the science. I'm following the truth. That science help us find it. All right? Because if you know, scientists are paid. Scientists have interests. Scientists have political ideologies. Do you think they're angels? Do you think they're objective scientists? No. Look at the scandal. The latest scandal that I read about, it was in Harvard. Those guys fudged their reports, their studies. Why? To give it a political inclination towards an ideology. So for me, scientists, I'm cautious. So there you have, these guys pushed two things. Now, when it was the pandemic, all right, whatever, I said, okay, you give me that mask to put over my face. And I was thinking, just a baboon that I am, that was enough for me. So how in the hell these particles are microscopic? If you look at on a microscope at the fibers of the mask, it's like nothing compared to a microscopic particle going through. So when we breathe in and out through the mask, something comes in, something comes out. Sometimes from here, through the mask. And I said, everything we breathe out, the microscopic particles are going to go easily out and come in when we inspire. No problem. Why? Because they are small, and the big little interwoven cotton, whatever it's made out of, or plastic, they will not stop it. They're too big. That was logic. But I had people all kind of attacking your not your logic, because they couldn't find it. It was all about shaming you. Oh, you don't care about this? Are you afraid to die? Go in your fucking basement. Wear 1,000 masks. Don't make me do that. All right, and then with those things, I refused to get vaccinated. And I was an employee for I refused. Why? Let me have it. And I had it. Here I am. Excuse me. Here I am. Now, if you're afraid, don't make me infringe my liberties and fuck up my life and my children's life for your things. Go in a basement, work from home with your mask on, or drive your car with 50 fucking masks on. Take your boosters how much you want, but do not infringe my liberty and my freedoms. I don't want to be zoop. You're afraid? You stay home. And besides, they wanted us to stay as well home. It was not like, oh my God, when we meet you. No, you're afraid. Stay home. Let me leave and let me do whatever I want with my life. All right, so that's the first one. What should we do with these people? We know the names of the people who promoted this, who came with the ideas and promoted. So what should we do? Now, in a real society that we pretend to be in the United States of America, is like this. If someone caused damage through a policy, and you told them that's a wrong policy, after the damage is done and you realize that was because of that policy, what will you do? Obviously, you charge that people, you indict it, charge, and then convict if You allow them to defend themselves in a court of law. But then you find that their mask distancing and others were bullshit. So what are you going to do with those guys? Remember, children stayed home. A lot of children had problems in their normal development because they didn't interact with other children and so on. The study, their level dropped. Now those guys owe me as a parent something because of my children. We know who they are. You know them in your community. So I think if we say that we are rule of law and all that, those guys, you know the names, they should be just called out, citation to them, show up in court, you defend yourself, we bring evidence, you bring counter arguments, and then we find out where the chips may fall. And I guarantee you, based on that, we have a lot of people who should just be punished for something they caused, something bad they caused. And the guys who were promoting that, like, acquaintances, co-workers, they should all come and suck my... All right? That's what they should do. Too many, I know. Line is going to be long. I argued many times. I'm okay with your freedoms, but you try to infringe mine. Like, I don't want people on the bicycle because the bicycle can hit a child. Therefore, no more bicycles for you. When you drive a car, I want you to wear a helmet because we protect you from the insurance when you're going to make claims. I don't want seat belts. Fuck you. You want to have seat belts? You have seat belts. I don't want to. I want you to go straight to the fucking windshield. I want to see how it is. No, I'm not allowed. Who says that? You say that? The government tells me that? All right, let's move to the next one. Here it is. Sputnik. U.S. Congress admits over $250 billion in COVID-19 aid stolen by fraudsters. Now, when fraud occurs in a big operation, it's usually a certain percentage. 1%, it's not too obvious. 2%, 3%, 5%, depending on the country and the situation. Now, if these guys, they admit 250 billion, was that a trillion? This racket with all this, was that a trillion? How much? 2 trillions? Remember, a trillion is 900, and it's 1,000 billions. Let's take it this way. So 1,000 billion goes in 1 trillion. How much was it? If 250 billion, let's put it 5%. Can you imagine how many trillions would be over there? I mean, people who are familiar with this kind of frauds understand how, in a society, how general or lack of generality it has. Now let's go to the last topic here. This comes from the Deadline. Jon Stewart, I will tell you his name. His name is not Jon Stewart, is Jonathan Stuart, and then I will tell you the last name. He can call himself bullshit if you want, I don't care. Calls out, but they hide. Why do you hide your identity? Let's put it this way. It's not like a name de guerre, a name of war. Now, right now, I'm not Emil, I'm Stalin, Man of Steel, or Lenin. Why these guys change their names like that? What if tomorrow I'm calling myself, the god of the Northern Hemisphere? Can I do this? And it's going to be I can do this, right? But it's they as a group. Look at them. Just check their names. So, Stewart calls out hypocrisy of Hunter Biden's pardon. And I'm quoting, rule of law is all that separates us from the entire cast of Madagascar. So funny. Yeah, well, look at him. All right, now why are you back in business? Because he was activated to again shape the baboon's opinion on that. You can say, yeah, that's true. What he said is true. Why is he attacking Biden? I guarantee you, we cannot actually, but I'm guaranteeing you, if Joe Biden would have bombed Iran, Mr. Leibowitz, or whatever his name is, I'm going to show you, would not have said that in this situation. I guarantee you that, or at least I have a gut feeling. So let's see Mr. Jon Stewart. Stewart with W. His real name is Jonathan Stuart Leibowitz. Nothing wrong with that, but why would you change it like that? Oh, he's shorter, like Tom Jones. For Tom Jones, his name is Thomas Woodward or something like this. He's not Tom Jones. Is that what it is? No, it's not. It's not. But nevertheless, he can do whatever he wants with that. But truth should be there. I mean, it should not be a shame of your real name even though I don't think that's if you go down. All right. So again, I think that if Joe Biden would have bombed Iran, Mr. Leibowitz would not have said that right now. I just have a gut feeling. All right, in my left ball actually clings a little bit, like cling, 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 or cling, 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 because not like bong, 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 no, cling, 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 a little bit harder this morning. I have just a gut feeling. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.